Now, Eala, she was given a special security. Thousands of Filipinos who tried to get a glimpse of the star on court.
Start in Manila at 11 a.m. local time. Morning traffic crawls along EDSA, while a sports bar in Quezon City is already filling with fans. Hours remain before the first serve. Yet no one wants to risk missing what could become another historic chapter. The match is scheduled for 6 p.m. in the Philippines, and anticipation has been building all day. Now shift to Mallorca, Spain. The tennis academy where Alexandra Eala developed her game is unusually quiet. The courts are busy, but their brightest graduate is thousands of miles away, focused on a grass court campaign that has surprised the tennis world. Then travel to southwest London, postcode SW19, home of the All England Club. On Tuesday, June 30, 2026, 21-year-old Alexandra Eala will step onto court 12 as the number 29 seed at Wimbledon. That single number tells an extraordinary story. Consider this. Before Eala, the highest-ranked Filipina in professional tennis history was Marie-Chris Gentz, who climbed to world number 284 in 1999. Eala arrives at Wimbledon ranked world number 30. That's a leap of 254 ranking places from the previous national benchmark.
Venus Williams, really like the first person on WTA that was so experienced.
The woman whose name is forever woven into Wimbledon history had just shared the court with the player now preparing to compete inside those iconic grounds. After the match, Venus Williams praised her young partner, describing Alexandra Eala as very competitive and expressing hope that they would team up again in the future. For Eala, it was more than a memorable partnership. It was recognition from one of the greatest champions the sport has ever known.
She's great. She's very competitive on the court. Just needed a little more time to get.
According to the Los Angeles Times feature published on June 29, one of the week's most meaningful moments has almost disappeared beneath the louder headlines. It deserves another look. Venus Williams didn't simply share a doubles court with Alexandra Eala. She chose to. Legends of the sport don't casually partner with players they don't respect. That week in Bad Homburg wasn't just another tournament stop, it was a quiet endorsement. By the time Eala walks onto court 12 at Wimbledon, it won't feel like she's arriving. It will feel like she's confirming a place she has already earned. Now comes the real challenge. The simple version of this story is Alexandra Eala versus her first-round opponent, Renata Zarazua of Mexico. Ranked world number 75, the 28-year-old from Mexico City is an experienced professional who has beaten top 30 opponents before and is known for making every rally a battle. But that isn't the true conflict. Zarazua isn't the biggest obstacle. The weight of expectation is. A nation of roughly 113 million people, one with almost no history of producing elite professional tennis players, is watching one young woman step into a place no Filipino, man or woman, has ever occupied before, a seeded position in the singles draw at Wimbledon. That is the pressure. And Eala has had only a matter of weeks to learn how to carry it. Just 3 months ago, grass was still the least proven surface in her professional career. By every reasonable measure, she remains a newcomer on it. This is only her second Wimbledon main draw. Her number 29 seed reflects her ranking, not years of experience at the All England Club. She simply hasn't had time to build that resume. Which means the greatest battle isn't waiting across the net. It's happening within her. Eala herself acknowledged that reality in her interview with the Los Angeles Times. She described the professional tour as a place filled with pressure. With growing attention comes greater expectation, she admitted, but she added one sentence that captures her entire approach: pressure only has the power that you give it. That belief is the foundation of everything waiting for her on Tuesday afternoon. A 21-year-old, only weeks removed from winning her first grass court title, has decided that the expectations of an entire nation will be measured on her terms, not anyone else's. Now we'll find out whether that mindset holds when she steps onto court 12. The evidence that she belongs there starts with one number. 29. According to the WTA rankings released on June 22, confirmed by ESPN Player Records and Paralympics.com, Alexandra Eala became the first Filipino player, male or female, to earn a Grand Slam singles seed. Not the first in recent years. The first ever. The barrier she broke wasn't cracked before she arrived. It was untouched. And she didn't earn that milestone because of junior success or future promise. On June 7, Eala captured the Lexus Birmingham Open, a WTA 125 grass court tournament. She defeated Nikola Bartunkova in a hard-fought three-set final, 5-7, 6-3, 7-5, claiming both her first professional grass court title and the second WTA 125 trophy of her career. The surface was unfamiliar. Winning was becoming familiar. From Birmingham, she headed directly to Berlin, where the competition became dramatically tougher. Her opening opponent was Donna Vekic, fresh off her Queen's Club title and playing some of the best grass court tennis of her career. Eala beat her in straight sets. Then came Elena Rybakina, the reigning Australian Open champion and world number 2. Eala won again. 7-5, 6-4. The WTA and multiple media outlets rightly described it as the defining victory of her career. It wasn't simply another upset. It was the performance that transformed promise into proof. She wasn't finished. In the quarterfinals, she defeated Elina Svitolina, 6-3, 6-4. 3 elite opponents. 3 convincing victories. Her remarkable run finally ended in the semifinals, a result we'll return to later, because even that defeat carries its own significance. But pause for a moment and look at what happened over just 6 extraordinary weeks. A 21-year-old from a country with virtually no professional tennis tradition won her first grass court title, defeated the reigning Australian Open champion, overcame former Wimbledon semi-finalist Elina Svitolina, and then partnered 5-time Wimbledon champion Venus Williams in doubles. That isn't simply a hot streak. It's a player redefining what is possible for an entire nation on the surface she knows the least. And while she shared the court with one Williams sister in Bad Homburg, another waited in the Wimbledon draw. Serena Williams was scheduled to face Maya Joint on centre court that same Tuesday. Eala would begin her campaign against Renata Zarazua on court 12. If both players advanced, and that remains a significant if, because nothing is guaranteed at Wimbledon, they would meet in the second round. Asked about that possibility by the Los Angeles Times, Eala gave an answer that reflected remarkable maturity. "I'd love a matchup with her. But first, I'd love to make it to the second round." It's the response of a player refusing to look beyond the challenge directly in front of her. Wimbledon may have written the perfect Hollywood storyline, but Alexandra Eala is determined to earn the next chapter one match at a time. The Wimbledon draw has already written the kind of storyline Hollywood would love. But Alexandra Eala isn't reading ahead. Her focus remains exactly where it should be, on Renata Zarazua, the experienced Mexican standing across the net. Every other possibility, including a potential second-round showdown, can wait. Because before center court dreams, before headline matchups, there's another story that's been following Eala from tournament to tournament. The crowd. The Los Angeles Times captured it perfectly in its June 29 feature. Wherever Eala plays, Filipino supporters seem to appear as if they've been waiting for years. Nurses traveled to watch her in Birmingham. Engineers filled sections of the stands in Berlin. Students came in Melbourne. Families showed up from Toronto. At the 2026 Australian Open, the lines outside court 6 grew so long that the venue struggled to accommodate everyone hoping to watch her play. Eala herself admitted she hadn't expected that level of support. She described Australia as kind of a bang, a moment when she truly realized how far her reach had grown. Now there's another unmistakable sign. Tagalog chants echo through tennis stadiums the way Portuguese chants have followed Brazil's rising stars. It's the closest comparison the sport has for what's happening around Eala, a passionate fan culture crossing continents and transforming ordinary matches into home events. So when Philippine flags wave from the stands on court 12, they won't be a surprise. They'll simply be the next chapter of a journey that has already passed through Melbourne, Birmingham, Berlin, and now Wimbledon. The flag hasn't changed. Only the stage has. That growing movement caught the attention of one of the sport's most respected voices. Mary Jo Fernandez, former world number 4, two-time Grand Slam doubles champion, and longtime ESPN analyst, was asked about Eala in that same Los Angeles Times feature. Her response was simple. It's next level. She brings a whole new demographic and crowd to watch our sport. Think about those words. Fernandez wasn't describing a promising young player. She was describing a shift in tennis itself. An entirely new demographic isn't praise that's handed out lightly. It suggests something much bigger than wins and rankings. Venus Williams offered similar validation after partnering Eala in Bad Homburg, calling her very competitive and expressing hope they would play together again. Behind the scenes, coach Joan Bosch has worked to keep everything grounded. Speaking to the Los Angeles Times, he explained that his goal is to keep Eala focused on one achievable objective at a time, praising her calm mindset and disciplined approach. 3 different perspectives. One shared conclusion. Alexandra Eala isn't simply enjoying a breakthrough. She's changing the conversation. Now zoom out even farther. The Philippines is one of the world's most populous nations, yet for decades it produced only one professional tennis player, who reached the top 300. That was more than 25 years ago. The Los Angeles Times compared Eala's rise to pioneers like Li Na in China and Sanya Mirza in India, players who didn't inherit thriving tennis cultures, but created entirely new audiences for the sport. That's the path Eala is walking. Not the path of an heir. The path of a founder. Basketball has long dominated Philippine sports. Boxing has produced national heroes. Tennis, by comparison, has rarely enjoyed the same infrastructure or visibility. That's why Mary Jo Fernandez's observation matters so much. Before Eala, there were Filipino tennis fans. Now there is a Filipino tennis movement. The WTA has noticed. Broadcasters have noticed. Sponsors have noticed. And somewhere, a child picking up a racket in Manila, Cebu, Toronto, Los Angeles, or Dubai now has something previous generations never had. A blueprint. Alexandra Eala sketched that blueprint on grass courts throughout June. Of course, every great story needs balance. Berlin ended in the semifinals. The remarkable run eventually came to an end. Earlier this season, she also lost twice to rising American Eva Jovic, who nevertheless praised Eala in the Los Angeles Times, describing her as someone who takes the ball incredibly early while calling her both a dangerous opponent and a wonderful person. Those results matter. They remind us that Eala is still learning. Grass isn't second nature to her yet. Her recent success doesn't guarantee what happens next. Wimbledon has humbled far more experienced champions than a 21-year-old still discovering her best tennis on this surface. Tuesday could unfold in countless ways. But Eala has already revealed how she'll approach it. Pressure only has the power that you give it. That's not a prediction. It's a philosophy. And it's the mindset she'll carry with her onto court 12. Which brings us back to where this story truly began. 254 ranking places. One generation. That gap wasn't erased by a single Wimbledon match. It disappeared the moment the seedings were announced. What Mary Jo Fernandez called next level wasn't created at Wimbledon. It was earned through every stop along the journey, from Birmingham to Berlin, from Melbourne to Bad Homburg, and every court in between. Perhaps that's why Alexandra Eala is carrying a weight that no Filipino player before her ever had the chance to carry. One final detail from the Los Angeles Times says everything. Eala recalled swimming off the shores of Boracay when Filipino fans recognized her in the water. She laughed and admitted, honestly, no place is unexpected anymore. Think about that image. A beach in the Philippines. A grass court in southwest London. For decades, those places felt worlds apart in tennis. This week, they feel connected. Whatever happens against Renata Zarazua. Whatever happens if a second-round meeting with Serena Williams somehow becomes reality. Alexandra Eala has already accomplished something no Filipino player ever had. She belongs on this stage. And that's a victory no scoreboard can take away. If you'd like to follow every step of her Wimbledon journey from the opening round to whatever comes next, subscribe, and we'll see you back on Court 12.